Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 269. Today we read you a little biography book of Carol Burnett, which is released today. So let's read it now, shall we? So we got for us. Little biography book about Carol Burnett. It's written by Andrea Pulser Stantz, illustrated by Kelly Kennedy. So see, here's the cover art, and here we go. And it's published by a Golden Book New York release. Copyright 2023 by these two, and these cover art, memoirs, illustration, copyright 2023. All reserved and everything else. You see here, there's her with her cat. I don't know what was in the television screen, but there you go. Carol Carrington Burnett was born in San Antonio, Texas on April 26, 1933. Her parents, Joseph and Ina Louise, loved her very much, okay? But they decided to give the best of her to be raised by her grandmother. Carol called her Nanny. Okay? Makes her more sense in a way, even though it's a grandfather clock and all that good activity, so there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, when Carol was 7 years old, she and Nanny moved to Hollywood, California. Lots of wealthy movie stars live and work in Hollywood, okay? Carol and Nanny were poor. They live in a tiny one-room apartment with a Murphy bed, a bed that was pulled down from the wall at night. Okay? It lived up and hidden during the day. Nanny slept in her bed, and Carol slept on the couch. Okay? Makes sense in a way. Even though Carol Burnett was a great television personalities, it makes sense to any of us. So there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, Nanny and Carol like to go to the movies as often as possible. Sometimes they saw 8 movies a week, okay? Back then, Carol's tickets cost just 10 cents, okay? After seeing a movie, Carol could add up the scenes with friends on the roof of the apartment buildings, okay? She started dreaming of being an actress and having her own happy ending, just like in the movies. Although the late Tim Conway was in the Carol Burnett show, he was a star in it. She was a star with Tim Conway. Kind of reminds me of the whole thing, but as Luke the Cool Guy said, it was a dream come true. Next page. Anyway, after high school, Carol studied theater arts at the University of California, Los Angeles, where she performed in many shows. She loved being in front of the audience, and more than anything, Carol wanted to be in a Broadway musical. Wow. A stranger who had been at Carol's perform helped her get closer to that dream. He gave her thousands of dollars, moved to New York. Wow. But she had to promise to pay him back in 5 years to help others and she became successful. And she'll never tell everyone his name. Carol agreed. I have to agree with the whole Carol Burnett thing. You know, it was difficult for her name. You know, that makes more sense in any way. You know, it makes sense. So, there you go in that, Carol Burnett. Next page. Anyway, moving away from Nanny was hard. Wow. But Carol was excited about her future. In New York City, she lived in a room with 4 other women who also hoped to get into show business, where she wasn't going to auditions. She worked as a hat check girl in the restaurant. Carol earned a quarter wherever a customer left their hat or shopping bags with her before sitting down to eat. Carol learned that she needed an agent in order to get cast in the show. Okay, but the agents wanted to see her perform before they agreed to work with her. Okay, but so what did Carol do? She wrote her own show with her roommates and invited all the agents to come see them. It worked, and Carol got an agent. So that's a good idea. 100%. So there you go. It takes the pictures and pictures and pictures to make more sense in any way. Next page. Anyway. She soon got a part in the children's television show, where she called Nay and told her the good news. Wow. Well, it's Nay's cat. Okay. Nay asked Carol to say hello to her during the show. That wasn't possible, so instead, she gave her a left ear a tug, okay? It was a secret signal to Nanny, and let her know that she loved her. Exactly. Even though Nanny died in 1967, Carol had continued to pull on her ear every time she was on television. Wow. Carol's big break came when she joined the Gary Moore show. She played many characters in many different skits, and this popular variety show. Her natural talent and her silly faces made her favorite with the audiences. Wow. It makes more sense in any way, even though her name was loved by Carol Burnett. You know, that's me, of course. Even though it's a great idea, it makes more difference than that. Next page. Anyway, at the same time, Carol was cast in the lead in the Broadway musical. Her dream has come true. Carol played Princess Winifred's Medea Obegon in Once Upon a Mattress, a show based on the fairy tale The Prince and the Pea. Okay, she worked at the TV show during the day and performed in the musical at night. It was exhausting. She once fell asleep on stage on top of the 20 mattresses. The stage manager had to wake her up and to say her lines. Wow. Carol and the show were a hit. Wow. She was able to pay back the $1,000 she had borrowed from the kind stranger exactly 5 years after she had received it. Wow. Even though it makes sense, so she had to get close to it, you know, even though it's a long book, you know. So yeah, it makes sense to Carol Burnett. So she had worn a crown based on the Prince of the Pea, so it makes more difference than that. Next page. Anyway, in 1963, Carol and her husband Joe Hamilton welcomed a baby daughter named Carrie. A couple years later, they moved to Los Angeles. They went on to have 2 more daughters, Joey and Erin, to complete their family. Carol was a great mom. She loved playing board games and watching old movies and musicals, okay, with her girls. Wow. It all makes sense now in any way, even though there has to be girls and Carol Burnett and their husband. So it has to make more sense in any way, even though Joel Hamilton was a good husband. Next page. Anyway. When Carol was offered the chance to star in her own TV series, she chose to do a variety show. After all, it was what she knew. And like best, but no woman had ever hosted such a show. When everyone watched, you bet they would. The Carol Burnett Show began airing in 1967. It ran for 11 seasons and won 25 Emmy Awards. Every show began with Carol taking questions from the audiences. Actors on other shows talked with their audiences as well. But Carol was the first to tape these chats and shows them on television. They helped their fans feel like as it really knew her. And Carol loved how supporting the questions could be. Once a woman has Carol were the bathroom was. It all makes sense now, even though it's a great sense of humor. You know, it was Carol Burnett. If you watch this, Mom, it's for you, my mother. So there you go on that. So Carol Burnett is for you. For my mom, Karen Harrison, to co-founder my company, to Carol Burnett. For Carol Burnett. But anyway. Next page. Anyway. Her co-stars Harvey Korman, Vicky Orange, Lyle Wagner, something like that, the late Tim Conway, help add to the fun. Sometimes they surprise one another by improvising, making up lines instead of following the script. Making the shows, many shows' funniest moments came when killing the others could help laughing in the middle of the scene. Yup. I have to agree with this 100%, even though it makes sense now. Even though you see Tim Conway in the picture, drawing scene here, but you know, it all makes sense in any way. Next page. Some of Carol's favorite skits made fun of her old movies she and Andy have watched together. If one Carol's characters make her dress with curtains in the home, okay? Includes a curtain rod. This costume made famous. It's part of the collection of the National Museum of the American History, Washington, D.C., which I'm going, not sure when, but I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also going, I've been there once, you know. In 2005, President George W. Bush presented President Carol for the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and in 2019, she received a special Golden Globe named for her, the Carol Burnett Award. Every year since, this award has been given to someone who has done remarkable work on television, just like Carol. Wow. It all makes sense now, but that's just me in any way. So, there you go, Carol. And here comes the last page of the book stating that this. Carol spent her career playing hundreds of different characters, but she has also shared her true self with her audiences. But as she promised to stranger to believe in her so many years ago, she has helped many people with her generosity and support. Each episode of Carol Burnett's show ended with her singing, "I'm so glad we had this time together." Carol's fans feel this very same way. Yeah, that would be good enough for this book, so there you go. And that was basically it for this book, so there you go. So that was Carol Burnett, Little Golden Book Biography. What did I think about this book? It was amazing. So far, this book was a success. That was Bedtime Stories episode number 269. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one's going to be a brand new episode of Lunchtime. But then I got to do my Tables of Week Wednesdays and PS Tuesdays. Not sure when, but probably this Saturday. Now my excuse me, I got to get ready to call Remix and go to bed. Till next time, this is Jonas Papa, so baby. Good morning, soon. So it's out. See ya.